Welcome to the RoboHydra for Front-End Developers Screencast. This screencast is going to show you what RoboHydra can do for you if you're a front-end developer working on a complex application that has a backend component. In particular, a backend component that you would rather not install in your own machine because it's too complex, because it has too many dependencies, because you use a platform that is not supported by the backend, or any other reason. If you already watched RoboHydra Screencast number 2, the old one, we are going to get the same result in this screencast, but in a much easier way, because we're going to use a plugin that comes already with RoboHydra 0.4. Let's get started. First of all, let's check the documentation for this plugin. The documentation for all plugins that come with RoboHydra is in Documentation, Standard Plugins. Front-end Dev Proxy, the first one, is the one we're going to use now, but any other plugin that comes with RoboHydra is documented on this same page. So for this example, we're going to pretend that we are the front-end developers of RoboHydra.org. And we are also going to pretend that RoboHydra.org is a complex website that has a complex backend that, for whatever reason, we don't want to install on our own machine. So ideally, we would want to have a backend that we can use that lives in a different machine, and at the same time have the static files or the front-end files that we care about in our own machine. So in this example, we're going to start with a directory that only contains the CSS files. That is what we care about. And from here, we're going to install RoboHydra. What RoboHydra installs, we're going to check the documentation here. We need to start RoboHydra with these parameters to have the front-end development proxy that we want. While this installs, the first parameter, proxy URL, is the URL of the backend, the shared backend that you want to use. URL path would be the URL paths that you want to serve from your own file system, from your own files in your own machine. And local dir would be the directories that contain the files that have to be served in these paths that you have specified in URL path. So now this is installed. We're going to start this with robohydra.org, and the URL path is going to be static CSS, and we know that because if we go to robohydra.org and we see the source, we're going to see that all static files are in static CSS. And local dir would be robo CSS, which is this local directory where we have these files. So now when we start this RoboHydra server, this server is going to behave like robohydra.org, except for requests that come to /static /css and so on, that will be served like static files from this directory, this local directory that we are specifying here. So let's go and load RoboHydra, load localhost 3000, which is our RoboHydra server that we just created. It looks the same right now because the CSS files are the same that robohydra.org, the production site, if you will, is using right now. But now we can go to our own copy of robohydra.css, and we can go to the teaser peak, for example, and remove the float. And if we reload now, you will see that float has been removed. So as you can see, it's very easy to use RoboHydra to get a good combination of a backend that lives in a different machine that you don't have to install or maintain yourself, and at the same time you can still develop using your own machine, and you can get the files that you care about, like the CSS, the JavaScript, or whatever else, being served from your own machine. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.